That's right. The pot, the
It
pot of
just
coffee.
it just keeps pouring.
The only pot around here that IndieVolt suggested. Anyway.
We need to get a clip of that that has either breakfast buzz on it or comics or something on that cup. That's what we
Yeah.
need to do. Just because, people tune in and they go, "Oh, it's the coffee show."
Yeah.
And they go, "I'm going to get my coffee."
Oh, good morning, everyone. Good Thursday morning.
Thursday morning already.
Yeah.
The week's pissing by.
I almost,
Really.
for- I almost forgot it was Thursday morning. I took my kid to the bus stop and then got back here. I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Well, I'm working on a commercial art deadline, so I wake up and go, "It's Thursday." Shit. It's the 21st. God damn it. You know, I got to get work done. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
It's almost Thanksgiving, guys. Almost Thanksgiving.
Yep. Almost
Um,
almost that time. And next week, yeah, And you know what that means around our house? It's tamale time.
is it?
Oh, heck yeah. They got to stash up for the year and especially for Christmas. So,
It usually means a time for for family get-togethers and
that's why it's tamale time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So prepared to have that your family and possibly that one weird uncle that no one likes. Um,
That's not you. That's
nah, nah,
they
nah.
see all those memes on Facebook. Prepare your political points now for Thanksgiving, so you don't have to buy so many Christmas gifts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the key. It's just like break this. This is the time if you're in a relationship that you're not legally attached to. It's time to break up with your girlfriend and get back with them after Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah,
You don't have to buy them any gifts
you
then.
got a long stretch of holidays here where you got to buy a lot of gifts.
A lot of gifts.
But if you got to buy some gifts, why not buy some comics? All
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. Got to buy some comics.
Yeah.
I
Um.
was gonna say it's all during the cold months too, when you want to stay warm. So, you're gonna have to buy those gifts after all.
Yeah. Oh, everyone. So let's hit the intro here, Randy, and we can get into the show today. We got a lot to talk about because a few people have messaged in about our show from Tuesday.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
wonderful complaints. Love
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Here we go.
All right, here we go, everybody.
Roll it.
Green.
Just once you gotta change that Google entry.
Yeah, just one. I could have did like a running gag like The Simpsons, but then I have to upload it
Yeah.
every single Thursday.
Yep.
Oh, I could do it on
That
Wednesday.
would be it. That would be a problem
Yeah,
unless you're able to cut the time for it.
yeah,
Like I was saying off the air, I want to cut the time really bad to do more little video clips, but not right now. Welcome to the holidays.
yeah.
Anyway,
Um, yeah, we had a nice talk Tuesday about people basically
mushrooming.
mushrooming themselves
Yep.
into I don't want to hear what's going on with the industry. I'm just here to make comments, which is fine.
I
I
don't want
can
to know.
yeah, I can appreciate that. Dave Supreme says, "Good morning, guys. Good morning, Dave."
Good morning, Dave.
Um,
Thanks for coming on board. You are the first in the
yeah.
chat.
I don't know if like, and there are a lot of guys who just put their head down and they're just there to draw.
Yeah.
They're there to do the work and get the book out, and I can respect and appreciate that.
Yep.
Because then because for every four guys like that, you got some a hole like me that's like this. Hmm? you know.
Well, that's part of the problem too, though. And there's nothing wrong with being dedicated to your work. Absolutely, be dedicated to your work, but you really have to understand and get an understanding about the industry. You do have to poke your head up out of that prairie dog hole and look around every once in a while, or else you're going to get caught. When you poke your head out, you'll get caught. Staring a mower in the face,
Yeah.
and so.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you just want to know. And plus, it's your industry. You should know.
Yeah.
You should have an understanding about what's going on, and not believing the a hole on Twitter or Facebook that goes, "Well, so and so sucks." Well, you're absolutely right. So and so sucks.
Yeah.
You know. and not
um,
finding out for yourself. You got to start thinking for yourself.
yeah, I
Though,
think,
when you're working for the mainstream, though, they want you to be cogs.
yeah.
Take this script, get this in on time, do this work, do that work, sign the back of your check because it's a work for hire contract, that kind of stuff,
Hmm.
you know. But man, you got to know what this industry is.
Yeah. Have you ever seen such in any industry? Because you have you ever seen such?
I'm thinking we should introduce ourselves. I don't know
Oh
how
yeah,
many
let's go
people you
ahead.
have. I don't know how many people you have listening right now.
Well, right now,
We
IndieVolt
only have
Radio,
Dave in the chat. Welcome. Get in the chat if you're listening.
IndieVolt Radio, right now we're at 410 listeners, so that's
Oh,
not
it's
bad.
still early then.
Yeah.
These
Um,
crazy people, come on, wake up.
uh,
Need to punch that number over 1,000 again.
but you're absolutely right. I do need to introduce. Oh, we need to introduce ourselves. I'll start first. Hello,
As you
gang.
should.
Hello, gang. My name is Varian Grant. I am the co-owner of Last Call Comics and founder of IndieVolt Media LLC. I got my start making comics in 2008. My first book that I ever published, I created. I did not draw or write that book, but I did create it. Was a little black and white uh, interior action comedy called Psycho Sirens. I am a father, a husband, a geek, a creator, publisher, and a reluctant taxpayer. And the rumor is an artist. Shamefully, not in that order. And you're watching Indie Vote Breakfast Buzz. I am joined
Breakfast
by.
Buzz. Hi, hey everybody. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I am an independent alternative comics publisher, printer, dealer. I've done just about everything in the direct market. I've been around so long, I don't even want to admit how long. My first published work was out. I was associated with Arrow Comics, Caliber Comics, Massive Comics, Weeby Comics, Arrow Comics again. And for the last decade or so, I've been doing Flint Comics and Entertainment, which is a comics and entertainment newspaper because I got fed up with the direct market. I did my own little entertainment and comics paper that we circulated around our county, where we moved 10,000 copies every month, at least. Well, let's say 9,500 for sure. Eh. And then all through little red boxes, gave it away for free where you saw those freebie magazines, and went through 100 issues and a million copies of Flint Comics, and just decided to get out and start getting back into this market again because, like we were talking earlier, I poked my head up out of the hole and was looking around and went, hey, this market's kind of interesting now. So let's find out more about it. So back into comics. And I'm also an award winning commercial artist, graphic artist. I've done a lot of commercial work that is sequential art oriented, that I've made a good living at. I won't say a great living, but it's been a good living. So enough for me to, keep my head above water. So along with a loving wife and, um, live here in just south of beautiful Flint, Michigan, in the safe water zone. So it's all good.
Safe Waters. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I am 2 miles south of the of where the bad water pipes ended.
Ah,
And that's a whole nother show. We could do a whole show on the Flint water situation. It just
Professor
turns
Trico.
into a drama.
Professor Trico says, "Thank
Thank
God for
God for
YouTube
YouTube
alerts.
alerts.
I almost forgot what day it was." I forgot
Yes,
what day.
so did Varian. He
Yeah,
forgot what days. Yawn.
yeah. And
Ralph Griffith says too much what?
too much impeachment buzz.
Too much impeachment buzz. Still tired. Oh my God! Please don't be watching the impeachment proceedings.
You know what's messed up is
Oh
that I'm so tired. I thought it said too much peach fuzz.
yeah, you
I,
might as well be reading Marvel comics as opposed to watching the impeachment proceedings. I mean, modern Marvel comics. No, don't no reflection back on those old great classics. You know, but
yeah.
the last 4 years of Marvel comics, it's just almost like an example of the impeachment hearings. They're just sitting around talking. At least they're not in a pizza parlor eating shawarma, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
When's the last time anybody read a modern, good superhero supervillain fight? When did that ever happen? Anybody?
No.
Anybody?
Mm.
Anybody? Anybody?
You know what my bratty kid
It's
told
not
me?
there. Huh?
I was letting him look at some old X-Men books, and he was reading it. He's going to the pages. He looks at them. He says, "It's complicated. I'm confused." I'm like, "Well, what?" He said, He told me there's too much fighting, too much arguing. I'm like,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
that's all
That's
they're doing is Twitter drama.
It's like
That's it.
he told me he did too much fighting in the old book, in the old '90s book. It was the X Men and
And the old '90s book.
yeah,
Too much rough and tumble going on.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the point, son. They fight, they do things. But I noticed something when I look in those books now because I got them all digital, and I got some. I, I have them physical, but I go back and buy them digital because it's just easier, and
Because
audible.
you can't wait for that EMP
Yeah. Um,
that
um,
fries your entire collection. Anyway,
one of the services foolishly gives them to me for free, and there you go. There you go, Trico. Trico says the only modern stuff he reads is Alterna and Last Call. That's right.
yeah.
Last Call putting up quality books, not that newsprint stuff that Alterna does. I'm just kidding. That was a playful rib. Peter Smith, he can't get mad at that. And I'll tell him to his face. It's news.
Someday, if he ever wants a Michigan audience, we'll get Peter Samedi on this program.
Yeah, they make you print newsprint. I've seen it.
Who what?
He prints newsprint. I've seen it. So do you. You guys
He
know that
prints newsprint. He prints yeah, but there's so many different newsprints. And again, that's another example of these pros, so-called pros, publishers not getting into the market and understanding what's happening. There's so many different printing options nowadays, so many different formats that you could be printing. You don't have to stick to a bag and a board just so you can get slabbed. There's so many other different ways, different things that you can do, so many other different ways to do comics that the market is wide open for. You just have to go out there and get it.
Tricos also says, I've been reading some 90s New Warriors, never realized how good it was until now.
That's because you're comparing it to the modern stuff. Now you need to go back and read the '60s and '70s stuff and compare that to the '90s New Warriors, and you'll see a erosion working there.
And then he says, and I read at least one Silver Age DC comic today.
There you go.
Those Superman stories are pure gold.
Amazingly, yeah. Especially, I'm rediscovering the '50s stuff whenever I can, the Captain Marvel and that kind of thing. The amount of imagination in those books is just incredible.
Um,
Especially when you look at the pizza meetings that they have today.
mhm.
It's just night and day.
Randy, I have one of the questions that came from our Ask Me Anything. That I apologize to the IndieVolt readers, IndieVolt radio listeners. I did not pay attention to where you guys are sending me comments in Tuesday night, but I want to read them now. Uh, one of the questions was from
You were lax in your duties. Is that
I
what you
was
said?
I was
Oh
totally
man, don't get behind.
yeah
Those IndieVolt radio listeners are amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
We can't have enough of them.
One of the things they asked, one of the questions they asked was, out of all of the shakeups at Marvel and recently with the Milkshake Girls, that's what they call them.
Hmm.
How come no Me Too uh, complaints came out of that?
There was always rumors, and I don't know why any Me Too complaints come out of that, but they might have, and you just never heard of them.
Mm,
Or they were quietly brushed aside. Somebody was starting to scream sexual harassment, and suddenly they realized they weren't doing their job anyway, and they showed them the door. So
mm,
you never know about that. And that's the same with any large corporation. You might have a problem that suddenly comes up, and they're able to broom that problem
right, right.
with a quick firing or a reassignment or even advancement.
Nah, okay.
Because if you go back and look, some of these so-called creators have failed upwards. That's what they call
Mm,
it, failing upwards, where they put them into a corporate position as opposed to leaving them as a writer or even as an editor. So
mm. Um, he's,
happy and quiet, you know. Stay happy, get quiet.
he said duties. Um,
Duties. Yep.
yeah. I wonder if with those in a situation like that, because I had a lot of people listen to the show know that I've once I had a bullpen. Twice I've had a bullpen with my former company, and um, had a lot of local artists that would come in there. There was a point where that first bullpen really was. It could not survive today. It would not be
Well,
took what we
a
can do
lot of
today.
those old bullpens were like factory assembly lines too.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they were. So and so was watching this, so and so was coloring that book, so and so was penciling that book, so and so was inking that book, all at the same time, and they were passing pages back and forth. The
Yeah.
convenience of being right in the same room.
Ours,
Anymore, the bullpens are all up online.
yeah,
You know,
ours,
people just email stuff over. But
ours is different. Ours, we actually had, a big group, a big room full of art desks, and I remember, I had booth girls at that point,
mm-hmm.
and the booth girls would stop into the office because, it was office slash. I hate to say it, but I think my editor at the time, managing editor at the time, he said it was like the honeycomb hideout.
There you go. Yep.
um, people that
Did you have a copy room?
I
A
had
lot of
my
a lot of people taking copies of their butts on your Xerox machine.
no, that probably would have that was in my main office, which is upstairs,
Oh
and
yeah,
then when you have to come.
Secluded from the action.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have to come downstairs, walk across another building to enter what was my bullpen. So it was
Uh-huh.
in a different building, but and that
That
was
way you couldn't hear them yelling at each other.
and then so there would be times when artists would call me, hey, could you open the bullpen? I'm gonna go over there and do some work. And so I'd go over and open the bullpen and then go back up to my office, and I was assumed they were over there doing their
Mm-hmm.
work. There were times I left the bullpen open overnight, but there were times where the booth girls would come down to the office. I mean, it was nothing to see one or two of them there just walking around. And I had to give it to them. A lot of those girls, they want to see the company succeed. So they just kind of did like gopher work for us. And perhaps it sounds like a fun time, Varian.
Yeah.
They would do like gopher work for me, like for free. Like they would, oh, would you guys want me to go get lunch, or you guys want me to go get, whatever.
Yeah.
And there were, and there was, we had two female artists,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of changed up some of our behavior.
Mm-hmm.
We went from being male dominated to okay, we got these two ladies.
Watch your misogyny. There's a woman in the room.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
what it
there's
is?
a woman in the room, but it was weird because those women in the room, those artists came in after the booth girls,
Mm-hmm.
and the booth girls,
Good morning,
they
Ted.
hey, good morning, Ted. How's it going? The booth girls, I'm trying to find the proper word to say, but they exuded, is that the right word? A a, a sexuality to them.
Well, that's because you hired them as booth girls.
Yeah, they were very flirtatious
But
all the
just
time.
imagine like the old Marvel bullpen with Flo Steinberg and
Yeah.
Marie Severin running around. Even Ramona Fradon when she was working at DC, you would have to have a tough skin because you were in a you want to listen to the Me Too complaints now.
Mhm.
Back then, it was a very hardcore misogynistic uh, gathering. I mean, it was very much a boys' club. It
Mhm.
was very much aimed at older male. Well, later on, once the direct market sprung up, it really narrowed down the demographic did to a male audience and really became a hardcore boys' club. But those women that worked in those bullpens had to have a tough skin and be able to take a lot of abuse. That nowadays would in one day there'd be a sexual harassment claim and there would be trouble at the office.
I found that there was actually a bit of a different treatment.
Yeah.
We treat the booth girls a little bit differently than we treated, and I don't want to say, I'm not saying we
And
treated them.
again, that's because they were booth girls and they were hot looking,
Yeah,
and you
we
had all
didn't.
these socially raging hormones down there going, oh, it's a girl,
Well, it's
I
funny.
gotta be nice.
It's funny because it wasn't they were treated with more or less respect, but it was like you just felt a little bit more comfortable around the booth girls
Hmm.
than you did female artists. However,
You wanted to impress them.
yeah, I will say this: it, the female artists that were there,
Hmm.
they they were the ones that were very
Brody.
yeah, some
Yeah.
of the and I worked at General Motors for a while, Randy,
And
and
they were I'm sure they were only reflecting the atmosphere at the office.
they probably were. They
And it
probably were.
just seemed a little bit more coarse because, oh, a girl said that? Holy
Well,
crap.
I'll tell you this:
You know?
there's nothing more shocking than a woman that's worked in the factory, the plant
Hmm.
automobile factory here in Michigan. to everyone listening, we have a lot of General Motors, Ford, Chrysler plants,
GM is really housed here, and the UAW started here in Flint. So
and I worked at General Motors factory for a while, and which is like it's part of my family's heritage. You have to work at General Motors, and I remember there was a lady there. She came in the break room and she looked at the guy, young guy across from me.
hmm
She was an older woman. She must have been in her at this point her 50s, and we were these young 20 somethings coming in. And she
yeah,
looks at this guy and she says, um, "Ooh, I'll take care of you. I'll have you driving a Cadillac in a week. You'll be fed, wearing jewelry. She's I'll take care of my man. I'll have you driving a Cadillac in a week."
hmm
And he starts laughing. She says, "But you have got to," and she uses some very coarse language. And he
remember
turns,
it's the morning.
yeah,
Remember it's the
yeah,
morning.
yeah, and he turns red. I mean,
Sure.
like he's
Yeah.
embarrassed. He's
Yeah.
not mad. He's embarrassed because he can't believe his woman, who's
hmm
old to be his mother, has told him this. And my mouth is agape. What did she say? And so I think that I think that like to go back to what you were saying, um, sometimes these people emulate the environment that they're in.
Yeah.
And she probably had heard that and figured, oh, I'm going to turn it back on these guys. And
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
I don't think it was that as much as she got into the mentality down there at the shop room, and she's listening to all these guys drooling over all these women. So it's okay to drool. It's all right.
yeah.
Especially in modern society, she'd be on TV saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Not today. Yeah, yeah. Today she'd be.
today she wouldn't. Nobody would even blink twice, or it would be part of a sitcom. Ha 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 ha. You know. But now, if a guy says that on television, you know, sexual harassment.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
That's the way it works. It's a more
and
shifting. So, yeah.
um, also, TD apparently reached out to us through the Ask Me Anything, and
TV.
about yeah, he wrote in about trying to get an artist to draw for free,
Okay.
and basically he says he says we answered this question,
hmm
but he says what type of back end should he be offering to artists then on his books?
Well,
Um,
it all depends on how bad you want to keep him and how
well,
well you get along with him.
well, let me reread the
You
question.
know.
People didn't
Yeah.
watch that show. TD wrote in and said, "How can I get artists to draw my comic for free? I see all these BS memes about pay them, but I don't have that kind of money. I'm more than willing to cut them in on the back end, but
hmm
this BS rhetoric that drawing for free is forbidden is probably why the Dito said there is no talent." Um, but now he's asking, well, what kind of back end deal should I be offering?
Well, I don't think DDO was expecting people to draw for free. And if he was, then shame on him because he's part of a large corporation that could actually pay people, and they could pay people a living wage if they wanted to, even if they look at their profit margins and decide how much profit they want to make off of a unit. There's when you're in the independent market, you're not making a lot of money. If you're making any money, it's a small miracle. And if you're making a living, God bless you, because a lot of us out there aren't. That's why I do a lot of commercial artwork. Um, but as far as getting somebody to draw for how much of a back end you want to give them is how well you like them, how well you get along with them, because it's literally a marriage when you start offering percentages, back end percentages off of an IP. It can become a lot more than just a business contract. You want to make sure it stays business, though, too. You want to have paper. You absolutely cannot do this on a handshake. Never, because that just adds to more problems, especially down the line. Because if you get less successful and you're running into money problems, there's a problem. If you get really successful and you get a lot of money, then it's even more problems because then you start arguing over every little penny. You know, I want this, or you promised me that. It's verbal doesn't mean anything. It has to be on paper, needs to be on paper and spelled out completely. And the amount that you give is really how comfortable you are and what kind of an incentive that you're going to give the artist, how much work that they're going to put into it, how much they're actually adding into the property also. Because you got somebody that comes out and starts having gangbuster ideas, and the two of you really start cooking, you know. In my personal opinion on an IP that I would run, I wouldn't give over a controlling percent. but I'd get really close. I'd get like 59 to 50 or 49 to 51, 51 in my favor, so that I can have the final say over the property, especially if it's something that I'm attached to. But other properties, sky's the limit, man. You
Mm.
can bring anybody in on whatever and split it 50-50 if you think you're going to get along with them, and just just carry it off. But the the key is though is for both of you to be working as equally hard on the project, and or as much as possible on the project, and
Right.
make it generate some capital and some attention, because then both of you just benefit.
And you know what else I want to say, because I've seen this happening a little bit lately, and I advised against it. But you take me from wrong, Randy. There are a lot of people. Well, not a lot, but there's a few publishers or creators. I'm sorry, that I've spoke to that are making various members of their creative teams co-creators.
Yeah.
Talking about from, so you're the writer, but you make the artist the co-creator. I think
Mm-hmm.
people make the letterer and the inker co-creators. So now you got four people now sharing the same pie.
Right.
Here's the problem with that. I mean, in my opinion, um, you're setting yourself up for disaster, because somebody, if that property, that IP is picked up, or someone desires to pick it up to take it to a new media, now you run the risk of having someone poo poo the whole deal because
Yep.
they're not getting enough, or they want more, or they
And I know of really good properties that has happened to, where
mhm,
there's a writer who brings on an artist, and the writer goes, look, I can't pay you nothing, but if you come on, I'll give you 50%. And because that artist gets 50%, the writer's out there banging and promoting and marketing and doing everything that he can,
mhm,
because the artist is obviously spending more time doing the work. They get a great media deal lined up, and they come back to the artist and say, dude, I got a deal lined up with such and such. And the artist looks at him and goes, I hate such and such. There's no way you're going to do that.
yeah,
Boom, the deal's done. You're screwed. That's why I was saying you need to have enough controlling interest on the property for that one person can go through and drive that stagecoach,
mhm,
while the other person is running along. Definitely their opinion is valuable.
yeah. If you're
And
gonna,
I'm not saying there shouldn't be an exchange of opinions. That's my 9:30 bell, but I hear the wife up. So,
if you're gonna make that type of deal, make everyone co-creators. Let them know exactly what percentage that they have.
oh, it needs to be on paper, like I
Yeah,
said.
yeah. Like they'll
And
say,
they're
"Oh,
yeah,
you're co-creator."
yeah,
No, let them know you're co-creator with 20%.
yeah.
Jr. says, "Good morning, good morning, Jr. How are you
Good
this
morning,
morning?"
fellas.
Um,
And Ted Davies Artistry
oh,
suddenly
I'm sorry.
sprung
Yeah,
up
go
as
ahead, go ahead.
opposed to Ted Davies. So.
Yeah, there it is. He said, Ted Davis says everyone would have a library card if they charge $100 for it. Pay your artist. um,
You should pay your yeah, and if it's at all possible, and especially if you don't, if you're not going to gel very well with that artist, pay him a page rate and give him a smaller percentage or whatever you have to do.
yeah.
But a lot of times when you're working on projects, you just can't. You just can't pay them. You just don't have the money.
Ralph says it's kind of like a marriage.
It's very much like a marriage.
Trico says I wouldn't ask an artist to work for free. I mean, the wages are so low, it probably feels like they're working for free. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's a couple of artists, and especially with we spoke to, I won't name him. Me and Randy spoke to an artist off air who did ran a campaign, and he says that he ran a campaign, and he says when the totals were in, he kind of felt like he was still doing the book for free.
Yeah.
So I mean, you gotta be careful with that, guys.
Well, it's very difficult to make a good profit out there in the independent alternative market. A lot of times you're doing it just for the love of it.
And Ralph says if you're broke, it's hard to get going, and that's
Yep.
true as well. Let's see here, Randy. One of the questions that do have here that I have a graphic for.
Yep. Why don't you stall just for a second? Let me
Sure.
double check upstairs. So hang on.
Okay. Yeah, guys, I was gonna say. Oh, and I seen that comment, Trico. That old office that I had. Says I thought Varian wasn't gonna talk about his porn career. that old that old office that I had was very it couldn't have existed years later. It couldn't have existed. It was just eesh. It was We skirt the line there. Um, Trico says, I don't understand why indie writers think it's okay to ask artists to work for free. When I flip cars, I don't ask the parts store for free parts until I can sell the car. Uh, you know, I think the idea there is a lot of people think, well, maybe if I can just partner up with somebody and we can, uh, you know, be in the trenches together for a while, then eventually something will break. The problem is with my first couple of comics, nothing did break. I didn't get there was no the money was very slow to come in. In fact, I know on one of those books that I did, I don't think I ever broke even. I don't think I even today I don't think I broke even. Um, but yeah, so some guys, some people think, oh, we'll just hunker through this together. I'll partner up with an artist. I'll partner with, and then we'll make a go of this. And you meet a lot of artists who are like, no, I need to make some money. Now,
Yeah.
I will say this too. Uh,
And with a lot of artists, you really don't have to pay them a lot of money, but it's a kind of a thank you,
mhm.
just to pay them something,
And be wary though of the type saying that. Make sure that if you are in a position to pay an artist, make sure that you
Never pay them up front.
don't pay them up front. Don't pay them up front. Do not. And
No
and
advances,
and
but
do
make sure
make sure.
they get a full script so that they can turn in pages if they need the money.
Some artists out here are getting bad advice. Oh, um, I heard that you know I heard that Ted Davies gets 400 a page. That's how much I want, and they
Right.
can't draw a stick figure.
Right.
They have no concept of anatomy. They have no concept of perspective. But they heard that Ted Davis gets $400 a month, so that's what they want.
That
That's what they
reason
think they
to.
deserve. And if
Yep.
they find you, because there's a sucker born every second,
Hmm.
if they find you and you're willing to, or you find them and you're willing to pay that $400 a month, then guess what? They got you. Um, Ralph says, as a writer, you can't even sell your original scripts. At least an artist can sell their original artwork independently. And that's true. That's true. It's hard to
Yeah.
sell a script. Although I've had some script writers come into my office and try to sell me their script, their creator-owned property, to sell it to me while still maintaining control, which I always thought was kind of weird. Like, hey, I'm gonna give you,
Well, you surrender control when you do that.
yeah, yeah.
So
Here's a question, Randy, from this is actually one I do have a graphic for.
okay.
Um, it's a scathing review of us, sir.
It's a scathing interview. I can't get into my local con here in Tennessee because of gatekeeping. Why isn't IndieVolt doing more to shed light on the bad actors in the industry? Cass, well, we're a new podcast,
Well, I mean, even with
but
IndieVolt.com,
you have to explain to us exactly how you're being gatekept too. So,
yeah.
and every instance is so different from the other. But a lot of gatekeeping is just people with way too much power.
Well, I have questions. I have questions about this. First of all, IndieVolt.com has been around for a while, and
Hmm.
we do share light on things if someone brings it to our attention with evidence, with the receipts, as they call them now.
Yeah.
Well, I need the receipts. I gotta have them. That's all it is to it. You give me the receipts, I'll run your story. Don't think that we won't reach out to the con though. We won't try to reach out to the everyone to give everyone an ample amount of time to respond.
And you really have to have that proof because there's so much gossip and innuendo
Hmm.
that flies through this industry. It's aggravating at times.
And, and my second question is: there's comic conventions in Tennessee? I'm just kidding.
There's comic conventions everywhere.
I know. I'm just being an ass, but yeah, write into us.
If you're an alternative publisher and you're being gatekept in Tennessee, you might want to look outside of Tennessee to do shows. All
Yeah,
depends on exactly where you're at and who's doing the gatekeeping.
yeah,
So
and I'd ask how they're doing the gatekeeping. What are they doing? And exactly. Are they? Is it hurting you to go? A couple miles away to another show because
plus, additionally, almost outside of your topic here, there's become a discussion here on YouTube because of everybody podcasting, just like we're doing here at Indie Volt. that maybe conventions aren't that useful anymore anyway, especially to get your word out and get people to know you.
It's interesting you bring that up, Randy. It's interesting you bring that up because we got another question. I'm going to put it up on the screen here in a little while.
Okay.
But another viewer has a problem with that. Has a problem with all the comic book creators reaching out on social media. So we'll get into that in about 2 to 3 minutes. But
Okay.
yeah, I do think that um, you definitely need to figure out if you are being gate kept, who's doing it. Are they doing it purposely? They might not. No one, you might not even be who they're targeting. If they're targeting, some people go into cons and they flex their muscle. I mean, if I go into a con and they're like, "Hey, do you want an island? We'll give you an island. We'll give it to you."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm gonna take that island. I'm gonna try to make the must. I'm gonna put out as much product as I possibly can in that island.
Hmm.
Now they could have sold those other 3 tables, but they just thought because oh well, this guy's a big name. I'm not, but this guy's a big name. We're gonna give him 3 tables.
Right.
And you think I'm not going to take them? Yes, I'm going to take those 3 tables. I'm going to take them and I'm going to use them to the best of my ability.
Yep.
And so they might not be gatekeeping you out. I mean, again, just if you're right back in, Cass, um, give us the specifics of what happened.
Yeah, 'cause you could also be getting gate kept politically. They're trying to keep some loudmouth out that they don't agree with their political views and they
Mhm.
don't want them to be part of their club.
Yeah,
So, but there's gatekeeping going on all over the place. I can think of a couple of instances now locally where, for example, Varian and I are being gate kept out of shows. We just don't do those shows. You know,
it's already
it's
fault.
that simple. Usually, that's all my bridge burning in my mouth. That's why people need to tune in.
Yeah, it's already fault. Ted says, "You surround yourself with the best. Most people, most
Most
positive."
positive people you can find. Build your IP and your brand and bring the people that help build that dream with you when it produces fruit. Yeah.
And that and trying to get and try to monitor expectations. Some people, we have it bad. We hype our stuff up. The best advice I ever seen in a book was like, save the hype for your product, not your staff. Um,
I'm not sure who them are here that Ralph is talking about, so send them an email and try to get a response.
I think he's trying to get.
Oh, try to get it on the record. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
in
Got it.
regards to being gate kept out of a show.
Yes, yes, you do. You want that. You want as much of that evidence as possible.
Yeah, and then send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to IndieVolt live at IndieVolt.com, or you can send it to our variant at IndieVolt.com, and I will make sure I've got just a few writers, just a
Because
few. I
because
will
you
have
never know. They might legitimately be out of space. Because I'm sure there's some people that think that I'm gatekeeping my little Flint and Saginaw shows, but they're little shows, and we
Mhm.
run out of space really fast. And I say, well, I can put you on a waiting list, but right now I just don't have the room for you. I genuinely just don't have the room for you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a fact that well, so and so, well, not directly at least. You know. Anyway,
Um, are you, Randy? And hold on, I'm trying to upload because I got the questions here. I'm trying to upload them though, so that
all
we
right.
have pretty graphics. Give me like two
It's
minutes.
always good to have pretty graphics, especially to your Indie Volt radio listeners.
Yeah. They don't care about the graphics. They're like, why are these
And
guys?
hey, if you're listening to us on YouTube right now, why don't you click that like button
Yep.
and let YouTube know that you appreciate us because those rules are changing. They're changing on the 10th. They're changing again January 1st, and there's a lot. And again, there's a lot of gossip, rumor, and innuendo flying around about them ditching the sites that they don't think they're going to be able to make a profit off of. So please like us if you can, or don't like us if you hate us, and either way, you're voicing an opinion
Yeah.
and being verbal. And even after the show, if you go back and you start listening to these old programs and you want to say something, throw something down in the comments because it will come to Varian's attention, so he will see it. And don't be afraid to email us, also. Or jump
I
into the
always,
chat while we're talking if you're lucky enough to hear us live.
as of now, I try to read every comment. um, I try to read every comment.
And you know, we long for the day when we're so busy and we have so many comments that we just can't read them all.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be nice, but
Long for that day.
that'd be nice. But we have yeah, we'll hire somebody. That'll be their job.
We could. Is our special guest here yet?
Do we? Let's see. Is he?
Should we check?
Yeah,
Ethan, are you there? No, he's still not in.
he's probably. Hopefully, he's signing those ash cans.
He's got to get them in first. That's a whole other story. Holy crap!
Um,
Somebody, there's a printer out there that needs their butt kicked in a friendly way.
yeah, yeah.
But that's just
Exactly.
not
When do you
that's
tell
just
your printer,
off,
hey,
off topic.
Anthony says, hello, fellas. Good morning. And
Hello, Anthony. How you doing, bud?
yeah, yeah,
You're
from
probably on your way to work, but if you want to come in, you're welcome. Just let us know.
there's a I don't believe that they have printers that should take that long. I think the printers I mean well
You,
it's
you,
pretty bad.
well, that could be a whole nother topic with another show. Getting to know your printer,
Hmm.
being friendly with your printer. You know, don't be afraid to take your printer to lunch if you can afford to do it. Pick their brains, try to talk to them about their job, what they're doing, because and again, that's all part of understanding this business. The more you understand your printer's needs, your printer's capabilities, the more better you're going to make your product. So I can't stress that enough. I was so lucky with Flint Comics to have the same printer for just about the entire decade. That Todd and I are still really good friends.
Yeah, and try to maintain a good relationship with your
And
printer.
we've jabbered because you know I like to talk. We've jabbered for hours
Mhm.
about the industry, the business, his capabilities, his job, their company, my company. You know, because the more they know about that, he might call me up someday and say, "Hey, I found an awesome new format that maybe you should look to do comic books in. What do you think?"
Yeah.
You know, he always used to keep samples around of different stuff that they had printed, oddball stuff, because he knew I'd be interested in seeing it.
Hmm. Are you ready for the next question?
Yeah, from BJ. YouTube comic artists aren't trying to reach an audience, they're using the platform to monetize us. Of course, they don't do cons, they don't have to when they make $1,000 a video. BJ, I understand your point of view, and I can see where you see that, but that's not actually the case because they're not. They are trying to reach an audience. That's why they're out here. That's why we're out here. That's why Varian and I do this. It's because we want to be heard and known from people. And yes, that does include that we want to monetize you. We don't take super chats yet, but if we did, we'd take them. Absolutely. That's all part of putting on an act and getting tipped. It's like tipping your waitress or your server after getting a good meal. It says, of course, they don't do cons. Well, some of these guys up there, especially in the CG market, don't do cons because they've actually had their lives threatened, or there's actually been people accosted at shows for having the wrong political opinion. So they've decided that this is the safest way to reach people is by doing YouTube. And it's not the fact that they don't want to meet their fans. Who doesn't want to meet your fans? It's the fact that they don't feel safe going out and meeting fans at the current political climate. So and no, they don't have to when they're making $1,000 a video. But anymore, I don't know of anybody that's making $1,000 a video off of super chats.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
because yeah, most of these guys going live, they don't.
but that's why you want to have your own channel and do your own little videos, build up an audience from that. Like the Zim Geek channel. I don't live stream on the Zim Geek channel
Yeah,
because I want to throw little tiny videos up there and build up a subscriber audience. Maybe once I feel there's enough listeners on the channel, we'll jump over. But the main reason we're doing this podcast now is thanks to the IndieVolt and IndieVolt listeners and Varian building up that channel as well as he has.
there's not a lot of people who do pre-recorded videos. We do them, and there'll probably be more very soon. But
I like doing them whenever I have the time to do them.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's fun.
those videos. Look, I mean, YouTube. A lot of people they've gone on the YouTube. I think getting monetized through ads or super chats is a bonus that comes along, and don't get me wrong. I think Randy said he can appreciate your point, BJ, is that
I definitely
um,
can.
there are, I mean, yeah, if I started, getting money just from just sitting here making a video, that'd be great, and I'd want to utilize that. But I think that these guys originally, and not, I'm not just talking about CG guys. I'm talking about everybody.
Hmm.
You do it so you can reach a new audience. There's no other reason to go out there.
Yeah.
You want people to find you and to find your work, and hopefully become fans and supporters of your work. Um,
And take what we've done just within the last couple of weeks with like Tony Figaro. We would never known he existed if he
mhm,
hadn't gotten a hold of us. We're here in Michigan.
yeah,
He's down in Louisiana.
yeah,
So it's awesome to have a discussion, between a group of us from different places, getting different points of view. That's why we love hearing comments from listeners,
yeah,
like yourself, BJ.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Trico says, "Don't hate them when you ain't them, BJ." And yeah, I'm
Everybody's welcome to start a channel and to try to gain an audience.
yeah. Oh, Randy's phone was ringing.
That standard and practice is telling us no.
Yeah, they knew I had a BJ joke in there.
Yeah, I gotta take this call. Let me
Okay.
jump off here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the only BJ I never liked. Anyway, there's a no, I'm kidding, BJ. There, you have to understand though that these guys and gals went out and made I guess guys and gals is the improper term now, right? These beings, these beings made of cells, cellular constructed beings, went out and made these channels so that they could try to reach a new audience and try to reach audience that they weren't getting. And think about it. I mean, uh, I've spent upwards of 300, I believe, to get to a different state to do a show, a 3-day show. And I'm there in that city for 3 to 4, maybe 5 days. I think the longest I spent in the city was 5 days for a convention. And then I come home. Well, here's the problem with that. If you didn't make it to the show, or you didn't make it all the way around the show, you missed out on me. I didn't get to meet you. You didn't get to meet me, my product, whatever. So we've missed out on each other. We missed that connection. If I'm here on YouTube with a channel, the opportunity for you to come across me and discover me is a lot. The chances are greater because now, I mean, you may never go across because you may never come across me, but there's a there's the um, there's the hope that you will now. And there's the potential that you will because you can type in comic artist, and if I've tagged my video correctly, you'll find me. And if I spread myself around good enough on not just IndieVolt, but just on my station, but other people's channels, then I can you'll find me and say, hey, who is this guy? He talks a lot. I don't like him, but I want to see what he's was capable of doing, and you'll pick up some comics from Last Call, or anyone else's. You'll go back, God's Hand, or Crosser's Gate, Pink Lemonade, or any of the books we've had on here. You'll go back to them on social, on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, or wherever they may choose to fund those books at. I'm pretty shocked though that you would feel that way, uh they're making $1,000 a video. They might be. I think, I don't know if anyone's making $1,000 a video, but I think they're definitely making a, a large amount of money. I don't think they're making $1,000 a video. I think that some people have probably kind of inflated their numbers a little bit just for ego's sake. But
How do you make $1,000 a video?
yeah,
I mean, by the AdSense, where you're getting paid pennies every time somebody looks at an ad,
yeah,
or,
yeah.
or fractions of pennies every
And
time
let me
somebody
tell you
looks at an
something, BJ. IndieVolt once had, and we still do. We have AdSense up there too, but I haven't. I've turned it off because there was a point where AdSense was supposed to pay IndieVolt.com, our website where we put a lot of the comic book news and indie entertainment news, that they're supposed to pay us, and they let us get up to being owed $250, and then decided no, most of your traffic came from bots. We're sure of it. Which and it's like, well, show me the stats. That's confidential.
ad. Yeah, yeah.
Really? That's confidential?
Well, see, that's also the problem of doing working with corporate internet companies that I found. That by the time you figure out how to make good money, how to make a living off of it, they're going to move that goalpost again. And I've seen that over and over. They'll go through and they'll change their rules. eBay's gone through and changed their rules, made it twice as difficult to make any kind of profit. YouTube is constantly now changing their rules. Even Patreon's threatened to change their rules and backed off, but I think they're still going to change them eventually. Amazon is another good example because there was my brother was writing a lot of kids books there for a while and was pulling down a decent amount of money, and then Amazon said nope, got to favor the corporate, got to move that goalpost over.
Hmm.
And so now he literally lost a zero in the amount of money he was making per month doing books for kids. So
Um, now, Randy, let me see here. This is okay.
so us making money off of YouTube here at this point, unless we suddenly go gangbusters and gain 1,000 subscribers, is just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not in the foreseeable future. But getting more recognition, getting people out there to see our product, that'll happen. And reaching people all over the world through IndieVolt Radio.
We have a message here from. Okay,
From
they
our
didn't
sponsor.
know from IndieVolt Radio, but the person didn't put their name. But
Okay.
they may have misspelled it.
Anonymous.
No, no. It looks like it's. I believe it's Stefan. I believe it's Stefan. Stefan wants to know, Randy, how can he pick which podcast to go on? What do you look at in terms of selecting a show on YouTube or a podcast to go on to make sure you're not going on a show that's not going to yield fruit? What do you look at personally?
Oh, you never know. You never know. I go. I'm like podcasts, like I am with conventions. I go wherever I'm invited.
Hmm.
And if I can get on somebody's podcast, I know Tony right now is pushing to get on as many different podcasts as he can because you never know. You never know. The site that has 10 viewers or 10 subscribers might have 100 viewers on that podcast. And out of those 100 viewers, 59 of them might want to buy your product. And boom, suddenly your sales go up. Or you could be on a show with 9,000 viewers and only, 4 or 5 people decide to invest or contribute to your campaign, your
Can I
crowdfunding campaign. You never know. You just have to get out there and get in front of as many people as possible.
play devil's advocate for a second there?
Sure.
Okay. Now, um, I agree with what you said. I agree because here's the thing: you don't that station that had 6 viewers last month could have 3,000 viewers a month later.
Mm-hmm.
And that video yours could become popular.
Right.
And then you can always have to come back on the show because most people will remember you. Oh, you know what? When I had 2 viewers, that guy was there for me.
Yeah.
So when I had 2 viewers, that guy came on my show. So now that I have 30,000 viewers, I'm definitely going to bring him back on my show, and that's fine. But I will tell people this. I will tell any creator this: when you're looking to go on shows, do your homework as much as you can.
Again, more research. Get an
Yeah.
education.
Yeah, research on what's going on that show.
Yeah.
What's the platform of the show like?
Yeah.
Are there
And obviously, if you personally think that person running that show is an a-hole, you don't want to be on that show.
yeah. It's yeah. That's why they don't come here. That's why they don't come here.
We have a lot of guests on. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. When you do that, find out what because you may and consider the risk because going on certain shows, you may not agree with some of their beliefs and some of what they espouse on that show. So you take that into consideration because you might get grouped in with them. As he's on that show.
Yeah, that's possible. Shamefully, that's possible. Yeah. Regrettably, very regrettably.
Anthony says, "I'm not picky when it comes to making money," and
that's the whole key. You gotta not be picky.
but it is regretful that you have to consider these options. You can't just go on a show, but consider that and consider the fact that some of these show hosts will so they're looking to build their audience as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a trade-off. they're bringing you on because they're hoping that you can bring a little bit of an audience, and you're supposed and you're going on their show because you want to deliver your audience. Take a look at them, see how they're building, see what they're building up, if they're consistent, and you know, also see if they've put like, I hate to say this because it sounds kind of messed up, but see if they put any type of work into, or any type of um what's the word, if they've invested any form in their production. You know, you don't want to go on some guy's show and he's filming, the joke is he's filming for potato camera. And your content looks bad. uh
Well, I don't know. I've seen some car videos that are pretty shaky that are kind of funny,
well, yeah, car videos, you always do those, always do car videos.
especially when the guest appears from the back seat.
Yeah, car video.
Yeah,
Or like fake taxi they can do.
fake taxi. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a fake taxi sticker. I wanted to put it on the car so bad, but the wife wouldn't let me.
No, you'd have been in trouble.
Yeah.
Ted Davies says every day, do one thing, watch one video, or listen to one podcast to build your business. A Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Divine Devo says hi, guys.
Good
Hello.
morning. Hello.
He must be new, or he
Yeah.
or she. They must be new.
Um.
I don't remember them being on before, unless it's
uh
somebody taking on a assumed name.
uh,
Welcome,
nice to have it.
welcome,
Welcome.
Divine.
We have. I mean, and we're also broadcasting live on Lola's page. So
Oh, well, you never know that.
yeah, she's not here, but
No, Lola's on hiatus today.
yeah, yeah. She said she couldn't get her melons out of bed today. Just can't do it. Um, but we do have a Randy. Now that we talked about that, and we talked about.
Before, keep that thought.
Mhm.
Let's go back to Ted's original statement. When you do your research, don't just do one. Do a bunch. Sit there, take an hour out, watch a bunch of you can watch 4 videos, 5 videos on a YouTube channel at once, or not even on a channel. Just bump around on your recommendeds, because your recommendeds will start steering you wherever you wanted to go. But I drove my wife crazy for months because I sat there and just absorbed YouTube. So it wasn't like a bump on a log kind of thing, but it was like, you're watching YouTube again? Yeah, this is a different guy. I want to see what he does,
Yeah.
And you can learn so much stuff, like watching Comic Tom doing emphatic gestures.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh.
and there's all sorts of stuff to learn, and you never know what you're going to pick up and retain. So get out there and experience it. Get an education.
I think my son will make a very good podcaster. He has no emphatic gestures. None. I'm pretty sure I'm raising Sheldon Cooper.
There's nothing wrong with emphatic gestures. There is
I'm-
a problem doing emphatic gestures all the time.
um, no, my son has none. I'm raising Sheldon Cooper. His arms down to his side.
Yeah.
There's no excitement. It's like, hey, Kaden,
Oh.
what's in the movies?
Yep.
What movie are we gonna see?
You're just as exciting as a modern Marvel comic.
Yeah. He's totally like,
I
the
like
Lord.
pizza.
Yeah. Pizza.
Pizza.
Hey, I like pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he went from being very with the,
And back when we were kids, we had the How to Draw Comics the Marvel way, where
Mhm.
they said somebody just sitting there isn't good, but somebody sitting there at an angle
Yeah.
making an emphatic gesture, especially in comics,
Yeah.
is awesome, because comics, visual medium, always great for there I am emphatically gesturing again. Always great for over exaggeration.
Mhm.
That's what one of the charms of manga and anime is, that somebody doesn't just get mad. Their mouth gets incredibly big. Their head gets incredibly big. The icons around them get large. You have all these action lines going on.
Mhm.
Their head probably gets tilted while they're angry, and little fire in the eyes.
Trico says YouTube is awesome. I use it instead of Stitcher or iTunes to listen to
Things
things.
that work. Yeah. But there's so many podcasts out there now. You literally have to surf through it quite a bit in order to find stuff that you enjoy.
Um, I've
Hopefully not too far away from IndieVolt.
no, never too far away. Which I got to put a new shows up on our Spotify very soon. It's not
I
just on
know.
Spotify. We're on Google Play.
I keep reminding you.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
We are everywhere.
Yeah, um,
Just one show on Spotify, though.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not even, in my opinion, one of our better shows.
No, no, no. I'll get to.
Viking Yoda says you need to get on that.
Yeah, you got to get Baby Yoda now. You have to get him.
There aren't a baby Yoda.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That was that was one of the that was an interesting aspect from the Mandalorian is they didn't allow any merchandising to start with
yeah,
for the characters because they didn't want to give away any of the plot points because I guess there's a bunch of stuff coming up.
yeah. And
And then there are people out there now yelling at him, wanting to know why there isn't a Baby Yoda in the stores.
yeah, and not just that. I like to know why in the hell. Can we now know what type of race Yoda is? Because they never announced it. They've just
How
never.
do you know it's a race?
Well, what is he? You think he's some type of little made up creature?
Could be a clone.
Oh man, that would be
That's
it.
why it was precious and why people want to kill it before it gets too old.
Yeah.
50-year-old clone.
Paul
Because
Schultz.
remember the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Paul Schultz says, Randy, the chapter was called The Name of
Schultz.
the Game is Action. Nobody at Marvel's read the book, apparently.
Nobody. No, nobody gets past that book anymore. It's all done by misogynistic males. So you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to draw comic. There's no longer a Marvel way unless you're sitting around drinking milkshakes or pizza. So. Or talking about your cat.
That's messed up.
That's
Ralph.
the way it works. Or your bulldog. They even gave Miss Marvel that lockjaw for a while because they thought it'd be funny. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, let's give
But
her.
that might be shifting. The only problem is now that it's Marvel, Marvel's going to have to take a year or 2 years before they get out of that stigma. Before they get past all of that material that everybody else, hey, you should have them sitting around eating pizza.
Well, I have a question, Randy. How was DC able to do it so quickly?
DC doesn't. Don't look at they're just starting 5G. Are you kidding me? You're asking that question. They're 10 years behind Marvel right now, in my opinion, and they're in their stupidity. Hey, let's take our icons and make them diverse instead of creating new diverse icons, which would be the obvious thing to do.
No, what I mean is how are they able to course correct so quickly? Like, that's not
They
where
can. Who said they are?
they seem to switch pretty quick. Like,
Oh, they can kill books in a hurry. Absolutely.
yeah, they seem to be.
Anybody can. They had an implosion back in '79 where they literally half their line down into next to nothing,
Mhm.
and that just about killed them.
Yeah.
So now they're let's put all the icons on black labels so that all of the big time collectors will have to pay more money for them, and then we'll take our big the IPs that we have and turn them into really sad, badly written diversity hires, and we'll call that 5G. It's the next generation. The coolest thing that they ever did was their the other universe thing that they had, where Green Lantern was where all of these names were completely reimagined instead of just swapping bodies and keeping the powers the same along with the name and the logo. Where Green Lantern was a Asian female that had a magic lantern that she placed over a grave that brought the cadaver back to life. Do you remember that series?
Uh,
They did a whole series that was awesome. Where Superman they had a black Superman back then too. Batman was completely different. Wonder Woman was completely different. Green Lantern was that character. The Flash was a young, bouncy white female, blonde female that I believe would cause flashes. They had Joker was a female Harlequin type, where there were 3 different Jokers running around, all young female Jokers. They had a central headquarters that was located underground. You had to go through a pop machine in order to get to it. Remember that series?
I do.
There was a whole. I don't remember exactly what they were called, but they went through and reimagined all the great creativity during that show. Did a series, a military series, and called them the Metal Men, where it was all commandos, very much like kind of like Jawbreakers, actually, if I remember right. Just some great stuff.
Randy, a couple of things. I know you have to step out pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I have to go in about 10.
Okay. Real quick, I wanted to bring up a few books that are crowdfunding, and And we normally, I know we've had God's Hand on. We've had a couple other books on. Matter of fact, God's Hand currently sits at $4,287.
Oh, good for him. He broke that 4,000 mark.
Oh yeah, it did.
Good for you, Anthony. And Anthony has a couple of really good podcast appearances coming up. I think the first week of December he's going to be on Billy Tucci's show.
Yes.
He's been going out doing some guerrilla marketing on some chosen podcasts, running through those super chats that BJ was complaining about.
Yeah.
So got to get out under people's noses. That's really what you have to do. Introduce yourself and start getting on podcasts.
Let's not be too hard on BJ. Sometimes you just get a bad BJ.
And I just use that as an example. And all of a sudden you've gone and given us that TV 14 rating.
um,
God's Hand 4,287. If you have a chance to look at that campaign, please do. It's he deserves to hit his goal. He really does. He's going to print this book regardless. But and it's a good idea. It's good looking stuff, and he deserves your support. So support it if you can.
Yep. He said there's 16 days left, so he still got a little while. Still got a paycheck in between there. I know it's the holidays, but
he's halfway into that campaign, and it's a rough time to be starting a campaign too, before the holidays. But he's doing it, and yeah, like I said, take a look at his product, and if you want to read it, definitely support it.
Yep, I've backed it. Can't wait to get the book March 2020. Yep. I think he's scheduled for. So yeah, definitely check that out. Also, let's see here. What else we have? Oops,
that's God's Hand again.
Yeah, there we go. Also, a book that I've checked out, and I have a couple issues of. I have all 8 issues. I believe this is another, you know, Kinetic.
Yeah, you showed me that earlier.
Today,
yeah.
I'll put the video for you.
Is that good?
I do like it. It's it's about a character who he's in a city, and the city already has a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of like remember how the boys had like every city had their own hero.
Yeah.
Well, the city that he's in already has a hero, but he thinks he can do a better job. And I don't want to ruin it and spoil it, but I get the feeling that the hero that city has really isn't the best guy, So
How would you rate it? Would you put it on a scale? How would you rate the art? How would you rate the writing? That cover looks nice.
Yeah, the cover, the artwork is really nice, and he's got a couple different bundles here. I think that it's a very solid book, especially because it's his, Bill there, the writer creator. I've met him at a couple cons. It's very professionally done. I think that that's one of the pages there.
Oh, look at that! That looks good.
I just I'm wondering where I remember thinking the book when I got it. I was like, yeah, this is it's like a quality book. This is like a what you would pick up out of the store.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing that I didn't get all of them at the time when I bought them. Mm-hmm. I didn't get them all, so I got like issues 1 through 3, and I was back home. Was over, and I got to tell you guys, I do not go online a lot and buy books, but I had another con coming up like that next weekend, and I knew he was going to be there.
Yeah.
So I went and purchased it. But yeah, it's not a bad book. I think that if readers are interested, they should definitely go pick it up.
I think it's very impressive. Yeah.
So yeah, now I guess this might be for. I was reading it, and I know that I've got these already. So maybe he's doing a collected version here, or just a Kickstarter version of it.
Is he advertising just one issue here, or the entire run? You said there was multiple.
Yeah, there's a digital bundle there. There's volume 1 here. Volume 1 trade paperback right there, $30.
Okay.
February 2020. Chances are, and we'll get Bill on the show. I'm gonna try to get Bill on the show Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, I'm guessing, and I haven't read the campaign yet because I just seen it last night, but I'm guessing it's already printed. Like the book's already done, guys. So there's going to be very little delay in here.
Plus, that's one of the advantages of print on demand.
Yeah,
is you can close out your Kickstarter and put your order in and have books within a week or two
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if all of the work is done. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, right. Yeah. And you can see, like, I mean,
Or where if you're mass printing, sometimes your printer takes a little longer, because they're printing so many books at once.
now I know I've taken a picture holding the books. I'm gonna have to ask Bill how come my picture isn't in here. We're gonna talk about it. I am a press whore. I will do anything to see my name in print.
Yeah.
I've done bad things to see my name in print. Um, but yeah,
Well, also, if the paperback's done by the time he gets the orders in, he could just be shipping them out
yeah,
as he gets them in. Especially, is it an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter?
the
It's a
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, isn't he? Okay.
Um,
So he has to wait until everything's done before he gets the money.
right, 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 right. And let me see if he has a video here. Let me see if I can. I probably will
He'll
have
have
to.
to go back out and turn your sound on.
Yeah, let me see here. I will do that though. I will do that for. Oh, and then what's this? Anthony says, I'll be on Akari Press, Antonio Bryce tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You're
Is that sexy party? Probably not. That's probably a Akari Press.
yeah. I'll let me see here. Let me do this and I will share the screen.
Try to drop IndieVolt as much as you can on those programs.
Oh yeah. You make sure you pay it forward a little bit. All right, here we go. Let's play this trailer.
Imagine you're developing superpowers, but there's just one problem. Your city already has a hero, but that hero is kind of a jerk. He doesn't really care, and you think you can do a better job, and it becomes a superhero turf war. Hi everyone, I'm Bill Cologne, and what
Can
I
you
just
freeze that?
told you was the basic pitch for my series Kinetic. For the last 2 years, I've been telling that pitch to.
Sure. What's up?
It's a metaphor for the independent comic market.
You think so?
That's what it sounds like. If you're sitting there and you're the hero in your town isn't doing the job, you think you can do better.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of the independent books out there. I think that's why we have so many independent IPs that are seem to be mimicking some of the mainstream books.
We'll have to ask. We'll have to ask Bill. When we get him on the show.
Yeah.
Have to ask him. That's.
So I'm listening to his description there, and,
Yeah.
and I'm going, that's the independent comic market.
Yeah. We'll have to ask Bill. I'll have to ask him when he's on the show.
Well, basically anybody who will listen. Behind me, I have my convention set up. Now, I'm not at a convention right now. This is just my living room. But as you can see,
I think that whale rack gives it away.
8 books, and I need Kickstarter's help to turn these 8 books into one oversized 192-page.
Those covers are gorgeous.
They are amazing. I like
so, guys,
it.
here's the cool thing about Kinetic. All the artwork is already finished. All that we need help with is the printing of this trade paperback. And having backed several Kickstarters myself, I know one of the things that backers look for, at least I know I look for, is having awesome reward tiers. And that's why not only can you pledge for the trade paperback, you can also pledge for several other reward tiers. For instance, you can get first printings of all the books as they sit here. And for the first time ever, some of these books, which are convention exclusives, you'll actually be able to get online. Now, I never sell these at my online shop. The Jason Metcalf black and white variant cover and the Raphael Crestani concept cover. You can even bid on sketch covers.
Bid.
Or this guy here, which was a sketch cover that Jason Metcalf drew the artwork for. This is the very first time that I've had my name on a slab with Jason's.
Thank you for stopping by and checking out Kinetic Volume 1. Now what I want you to do, scroll down the page, find the reward tier that you like best and suits you, and go ahead and click that, and let's get this funded. Thank you for all your support.
Yeah, and
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love those covers. Those cover. I mean, like walking through the con, checking out the setup. Those covers always pull my eye because I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
look at the cover. Those covers are amazing. Even the black and white cover is pretty good.
They're almost iconic. They look really good. Whoever's is it the same guy doing all the covers, or is
Yeah.
he asking different people? Is
No.
that the art team doing the covers?
He has the cover artist, and then there's a different artist
Okay.
interior.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, at least he shows interiors too, so that you can see it's a professional looking job.
Yeah,
I have to step out for about 15 minutes while I take the wife to work.
you guys,
I'll be back in 10, 15 at the most.
you guys got me.
All right. Unless you can find somebody else. Anybody else want to jump in? You know, if I
You
come
guys-
back and there's 6 other people online, that might be a problem. Here in the cast, but
All right, I'll
All
see
right.
you soon. All right.
I shall return.
And then with what I found with books like that, we generally when I go to cons and I see books set up like that, I'll go over to your table because those books look amazing. The coloring on the books is real good. I do not know if like there's a couple books that I have that I've done that I'm always looking at other people's covers and thinking, man, that my cover doesn't look like that. I better jump back on my game. I need to get better. Anthony says, dude, stuff looks good. It does. It looks really good. I've got mine bagged and boarded, but they're in my probably one of my long. I know it's probably in my long box over there by my art desk. Because I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but this comic rack I have behind me, which I move when I'm not doing the show, is actually full of indie comics, obviously, but they change periodically because I like to mix it up and try to showcase other books. Hopefully someone asks me, hey, there's a different book behind you. What's that? And for the most part, I change it maybe like once every 2 weeks. I got Sad Night and Happiness character here. Got that from a show. I was talking to Sean Koss and got one of those little guys. So what do you guys think about that? Think he could hang there? Is that distracting anybody? It's a little villainous character. There's another book that I thought looked pretty good, and it reminds me of some of the old early Image books I've seen on Indiegogo, and maybe we'll reach out to the creator too. This one, it's called Cosmos. I'm going to share it here with you guys right now, I think. As long as my computer. All right, there we go. Can you guys see that? Cosmos. We'll try to share it. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Trailers like that are really cool looking. I like them because they tend to get me excited for the book. There's a lot of cool music too. That's that theatrical music that I just tend not to I can there are certain things that and that's something we can talk about too, guys. There are different companies that allow you to buy or lease different things. So video, music, that stuff is pretty expensive. There are some, if you guys ever think about doing that, let me know. Periodically, I get codes sent to IndieVolt partnership, what they call, can't think of the name of it now, but they give me codes and I can give out to people. It allows them to go in and, you might say 15 to 20, even 30% affiliate codes, affiliate links, that's what they're called, where different companies say, hey, you guys reach a large amount of comic creators, and if they ever want to put out content and they want to have a professional touch, they can come to us and we'll sell them those, we'll sell them music, we'll sell them videos. We'll sell them special effects and video elements. And periodically we have those. We have like 30% off codes. So if anybody ever wants one of those and needs something, feel free to reach out to me. Again, you can do so at IndieVolt live at IndieVolt.com. And two, I'll try to post some stuff up here in the chat. I don't like how Randy has Busy Bee up there. I just thought about it. I feel like that little bee is staring at me. He has a ill intent. Yeah, but that looks good. Cosmos looks like it's gonna be a pretty good book. I believe that it is. I'll put it back up here. Give me 1 second. Okay, my YouTube is not behaving. Yeah, it's not behaving. Oh well. It is on Indiegogo. That was on Indiegogo right now, so you can find it. Cosmos, COSMOS number 1. I can't get. I can go to their page. Okay, there we go. Now I've got it working. Yay me. They are currently at $440 of a $500 flexible goal. So they're 8 days left. Really easy to fund this book. See if you can go over there and drop some money. That looks like a pretty good book. Art, and looks like they're building a world. You think I would have read this before I brought it up here, but what I really like was this print. I don't know if I can bring it up. Let's see here. Computer's working really slow today. Oh, why are you trying to get me to? I just wanted to see the perk. That perk, you get 2 signed copies of Cosmos number 1 plus a Genesis character print. Yeah, looks pretty good. Can't say anything bad about that project. That looks good. Tony Cottrell. I'm not sure if I know him. Not sure. Trackle says that bee is creepy as AF. It is. That bee is very creepy. At Randy's little logo has to go. He could have put Spank. He could put anybody there. Instead, he could have put the Mooncalf there. He could have, but he chose to put, he could put the Mooncalf. Mooncalf would have been fine right there. No, we get this bee that looks like he's, again, it's Halloween. I almost said it's Halloween. It's Thanksgiving. You know what that bee is? That bee there is everybody's creepy uncle that comes over for Thanksgiving. Where are the kids? That's him. That's the bee. That's what he looks like. That's what your uncle looks like when he's Uncle Tickle Fingers, they call him. Yeah. Yeah. How dare he say that? Yeah. So everybody go check that out. I'm stalling for Randy, but he should be back pretty soon. Also, while I'm at it, there was another question from and if anybody missed it, one of the questions we had last week, and the person reached back out to me and they said that we didn't quite answer it. So, and we want to do that on this show. We will go over your question and not answer it because you're too busy making fun of you. No, me. Where is it at? I think this is it. Okay. Sorry, guys. I think I'm getting to the point where I may finally need glasses. We'll find out soon. But yeah, it was from W. Hayes, who said that we didn't answer his question correctly, or to his satisfaction. We didn't answer his question, and his question was oh, that's funny. Draco said that Randy should put Spank and it could say Spank Break. Yeah. We'll talk to Randy about that when he comes back. But this is the question that W. Hayes asked last week. So explain to me like I'm a complete moron what you all seem to find lacking entertainment-wise and modern mainstream or indie comics. And I think that right after our show, Rob Anderson put up a post that everybody knows Rob. If you don't, Rob Anderson runs Indie Advocates and a couple other independent comic-based sites and just online groups. And one of his questions he put up was if indie creators are trying to imitate the mainstream books that they're seeing, and to a point, I agree with that. I think that there is a lot of imitation going on, a lot of copying going on because I know a creator right now who is blatantly ripping off Spider-Man, blatantly, and he did have a semi interesting take on Spider-Man, but I mean, there's only so much you could do with that. And now Marvel is essentially done. They done it. So Marvel took away what was interesting about his character and used it on theirs. And now it's like, why buy your book? Because now Marvel has that. They have much more money than you have to market that book. In my opinion, it's kind of a waste of time to do that. Now, I mean, the thing is, and it's gonna happen. I mean, Marvel and DC will steal from you. If someone makes a book today, if Ted Davies' book becomes his book Retrieve becomes the next Walking Dead, you best believe Marvel or DC or Image, whoever, someone's gonna come out with a comic with a very close plot to that, and we'll see what happens, but I believe personally that, his character, because there's a space you get for originality. They always say there's no new ideas, and that's true. There's very little new ideas, but when your idea is so paper thin, and at the beginning, you might want to take the story back, run it back a little bit, and see if you can't find a different tone and something to make your book and your story a little bit more, unique to what you're doing. Because otherwise, if I want to rip off Spider-Man, I might as well make the guy name, Peter Barker, and or I say Peter Barker, and give him a girlfriend named Marianne, and he has centipede powers. I named Centipede Man, which with my imagination, Centipede Man is not gonna be what you think he is. It's gonna take like him and 5 other people. They're gonna have to merge. Yeah, you don't want to know how they'll merge to become the Centipede hero. It'll be awesome. Someone draw that. Someone draw it right now. Centipede Man. I'm announcing that. That's the next book from Last Call Comics. Centipede Man is wrote by Trico Lutkins. Okay, we got Anthony Figueroa doing a special cover. Ted Davies doing the cover. I'm gonna knock out the interiors. I'm gonna get Ralph Griffith on editing duties for that book. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Centipede Man coming 2020. Last Call Comics. People are gonna expect that book to come out now. We're gonna have to do it. Damn it. It's a sick book. What else has happened in Indiegogo? A couple other books that I know if I run on here, people are going to probably ask me over to their house to shoot me. So I can't run that. No, I'll let Randy run it. Where are we at? Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry, I lost everybody for a second, but now you're back. Okay, sorry. I keep thinking I'm messing up, but I'm not. Oh, there's Bill. Let's see if I can I'll message Bill. Bill is the creator of Kinetic, which you just saw. Let's see. Yeah, typing. I type very fast on it. That's I learned to type fast when I was younger because I waited till the last day to do a book report. I was under 10 minutes, sir.
That's good. Yeah, I was kind of pushing her along the whole time.
Yeah, did you make her roll? Did you fish?
Huh?
Did you push her out the car when you got to the job?
Well, I couldn't. She's got a bum knee. So
okay.
I didn't want her. Yeah, what were we talking about?
W. Hayes had wrote in and said we didn't quite answer his question, so I was elaborating on what I feel is lacking entertainment wise.
Well, that's funny because he starts his thing out with, "So explain it to me like I'm a complete moron."
Yeah. And
What you all seem to be finding lacking in entertainment wise in modern mainstream, or what are we finding lacking?
yeah, and I just said that it was a lack of
Entertainment.
entertainment. Yeah. And then you missed this one, Randy. I run it back for you. I run it back for I guess I run it back for everybody.
It's a matter of getting an education and looking back at, oh man, comics used to sell millions of copies, not thousands.
Hmm.
And there's a reason for that. And it's not just because, well, there wasn't video games back then, or there wasn't internet, or not so many people on YouTube. It could still be a big, viable entertainment industry. It's just that the mainstream doesn't want that. Apparently, they just want to turn it into an IP factory,
Yeah.
which is irritating.
Here, Randy. And I was joking about. Yeah, I was making a joke about Centipede Man, the character that we can create, and I announced the team. You're writing it, Randy. Unfortunately, you and Trico are writing it out. Trico's already applying the script for CP Man.
Centipede Man.
Future, yeah. Go Centipede Man. Trico Centipede Man, 100 feet justice. And Trico says, Randy, while you were gone, Varian announced the next breakthrough title from last call.
Centipede Man.
Yeah, it's Centipede Man. He's actually it's a group of people, and they're all attached.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
I was going to ask like a reverse Voltron, but no, I'm sure it's going to be like a reverse Centipede.
Here we go. And Randy, you'll like this. I love it like
the only dialogue you'd get is off of the top guy or off of the bottom guy when he's farting. What do you say about that, bottom man? It's a go.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible.
Well, then so Centipede Man, tell you the truth.
Here we go, Randy. This
Cosmos #1, the remastered edition.
Here we go. Nice trailer, by the way.
Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan. We live in a little blue dot. Welcome to Advent Comics. There is no sound. I hear a little music. Battle one of the most dangerous threats to the universe. Shion, the book you can't pronounce. Hey, there's Black Goliath. The stakes are everything. And failure is not an option. Is the sound intentionally down? This fall, coming to a local TV near you. Get ready. Indiegogo, Cosmos. Advent Comics. That sounds familiar. Is that somebody we know?
No. But I came across them. I recommended on Indiegogo, and I said,
it's amazing what comes up on your recommendeds, huh?
Yeah.
How's their campaign? How's the campaign?
Actually, almost funded. He's asking for he's got 440.
450
of 440 of $500 goal.
Damn it, Varian! Now you've gone down a centipede rabbit hole. Did you know they eat spiders? Here we go. He's just trying to make more trouble. He's got $4.40. He's got $440.
Yep, of a $500 goal. So he's gonna. It's 8 days left.
Set your sights low.
Yeah, 8 days left. He'll probably make it. He's only 60 or 60 bucks short.
He's probably got 500 in his savings account.
Yeah.
At least 60.
Yeah. So he'll definitely make it.
That doesn't look bad. It's just that one of those characters in there, his costume is exactly Black Goliath's. First minute I saw it, I said, "Oh, that's Black Goliath."
Oh.
Or an older version of Black Goliath. I'm sure that they've probably changed that costume at least twice since then.
Going down a centipede rabbit hole. They see, he can eat a spider character.
Yeah. Okay.
Centipede man. Imagine. I hate centipede. I can't.
Then it should be a villain.
No. There's too much potential there, Centipede Man. We have to market Centipede Man.
Well, if it's modern comics, he'll be an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He'll be a bad guy that's really a good guy that's actually a bad guy. But he's got a heart of gold. No, heart. I said heart. Heart of gold.
He's got hearts of gold.
He's got, and farts of methane.
Now, and then Randy, Iron Sights, Two Psychos.
Iron Sights is an interesting campaign because if you look at it, and again, don't throw your up front. Oh, it's Richard Myers. He's a racist bigot. Look at what he's doing there for that campaign. He's literally, it looks like a European graphic novel. That's what it looks like. I believe I'm not sure the country of origin of his artist, but he's got a very good black and white look to it, gray tones, and he's putting it on sepia, almost sepia paper. So it'll have like a brownish, not quite as bad as a paper bag brown, but a kind of a tan look on the paper. He said it looks awesome. Mm-hmm. But the key to this campaign, the thing that everybody should be looking at, is that he's selling as many 1 and 2 packs for $50 as he's selling just number 2s. So he's gaining an audience. Even if some of those people want to have that number 1 again, there probably aren't that many people out there trying to get a double copy of number 1, even though it is a reprinting. It's a reprinting of number 1.
Yeah.
Because he's putting it on better, in his mind, better paper. But it's meant to look like a large graphic novel that, you can just roll up and stick in your back pocket like the old days, And it's thick. It's going to be 100, I think it's 100 and some pages, isn't it? 120?
Yeah.
Each issue's like 120. So for $50, you're getting 240 pages worth and 2 stories.
Yeah. Ted Davis says Centipede Man and sidekick Millipede. Yeah, Millipede has to be a woman.
No, girl.
Girl? Okay.
Young girl.
Young girl. Millipede.
Millie.
Yeah.
Millipede.
Yeah. Paul says there was a Black Goliath and an Adam Warlock knockoff in that Cosmos
trailer.
Hopefully it was intentional for the right reason. Yeah, you never know. You never know. We'll have to reach out and see. Hey, are you aware? No, well,
I'm sure. I'm sure if he makes enough money, Marvel will make sure he's aware. Not just the fans. So
Marvel says.
But we do wish him the best of luck. Yeah, exactly.
when that Marvel when that Marvel contract comes, that cease and desist comes.
How dare you?
Exactly.
How dare you, sir? That's pretty much all of our questions. I went through all of those. So everyone, please make sure you check out some of those books.
Back on Iron Sights though, Richard's literally, he's got what 40,000 already, and his campaign's only 3 days old.
Yeah,
40-some thousand. You should look at what's going on with that 44,000 and how he's running that campaign. Simple, very simple. Just a couple of tiers. Here you go. Choice A, choice B, and prints. I think of both of the covers.
The goal was 10,000. He's gone over that now,
and he knew he was going to blow past that.
And that's
this artwork is done. All he's got to do is paste up a couple of pages apparently and send the thing to the printer. So it's at that close to being actually at the printer and being printed. And he's already got a good idea of how many he's going to make off of the first one.
Yeah, he's done this, and actually, I think this art looks better than the issue 1 art.
Is it a different artist? It's the same artist, isn't it?
I'm not sure, but I remember looking at issue 1 and saying,
I know he said both stories. Yeah, I didn't invest in issue 1, but I'm probably going to invest in both 1 and 2 on this. Mm-hmm. Just to have them, because it looks interesting to me. It looks like an old style, almost like a Grindhouse movie.
Yeah.
Like a Sam Peckinpah film that on paper. And that's right up my alley sometimes.
Yeah.
So I will likely be investing in that campaign here as soon as my account rebounds.
Yeah, you got it. Well, now that you've gotten some of your books, Randy, you can invest now. I know you made yourself a promise.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to get any more in the hole, and there's still some stuff I'm waiting on that I think I'm going to be waiting on for a while. So, Mark Miller. Anyway.
Yeah, some of you guys are messing up. Some of you are messing up, not getting those
Well,
books.
the thing is, you shouldn't be mad at the entire industry or at the factions or whatever. Individuals are making mistakes just like humans. All humans, they make their own mistakes. Ethan made a ton of mistakes. Ethan's still making mistakes, and he's learning as they go along. Even though Ethan's cleared, he pretty much cleared 1 million off of that frog book, he's still making mistakes. And there's no perfect way to go about this, but if you get in there and you start looking at these campaigns, especially if you want to do one, you're going to hopefully learn from everybody else's mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole idea of looking, of getting an education like that, researching, looking to see what other people have done, how much they made from doing other stuff. I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Millipede is a female sidekick. Okay.
It's going down, Randy. Yeah.
Well, I got a team of animal superheroes. I can call up, probably.
Yeah, but you're entertained.
that I can actually. Millipede isn't a bad idea. Millipede, but I already have a character in there that makes multiple copies of herself.
Mm-hmm.
A cat character I call Copycat.
Mm-hmm.
So
your characters can't make snide fourth wall breaking remarks.
No, but they probably could if I wanted to Deadpool them.
Yeah.
Turn him into like Deadpool. I can't find that right now.
What do you think about this whole?
That's why I'm on the wrong freaking drive. It's a hassle of having like 15 drives.
Yeah. Don't I know it? My computer is pretty much hard drives. And I still, for some reason, run out of space. This because when I'm doing comics, creating comics, I'm using my computer for the most part. I really need to. I've really been thinking, and maybe this is something that people who make comics should consider: getting a computer just for comic creation, if you can, because I catch hell in terms of
You catch hail.
Trying to get my computer is I do IndieVolt from it. I do a lot of other company stuff from it, and so it does. One of my hard drives is full. Oh yeah, there they are. That's the
see that?
Yeah, no, that's your that's not the Anniverse. That's
no, it's a Hero Herd.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll get that done. There's Copycat here in the corner in the yellow and black costume. Or not in the corner, but on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. But yeah.
Ted Davies says, I want IP rights to Millipede. No way, Ted.
No.
No.
I'm working on a band of super villains right now.
Yeah. Best you can get is with consideration by. We'll give you that.
Special thanks to.
Yeah.
It's a race now. Whoever gets it and creates it. With comics, anytime you come up with an idea, there's already 4 other people that are working on that same idea at the same time, and it all is a race to get it out into the market.
Sorry, Ted, you just got fingered. Bill fingered, that is.
Bill fingered.
Yeah.
Learn your history.
Yeah,
Excelsior, kids. Learn your history. History's there to learn from.
So I guess, Randy, we're approaching 2-hour mark. People want to get off here.
We're still 15 minutes away. If somebody has a question in the chat, we'll take it.
Yeah. If you guys got any questions, next week I got
a few minutes.
Yeah. Next week I'm trying. A Tuesday show should be pretty big. Let's see here.
We have a bunch of people that said that they'd love to come on the program. It's just a matter of coordinating their time. Whatever happened to Scott Rosema?
I don't know. I think Scott's got his own show.
You need to start sending. Have you been sending him invitations?
No, I haven't.
Could be. He might think that we've rejected him. So
It could be because Scott's got his own show, and he did send me this.
He does.
He sent me this ridiculous writer. It was a writer. He was requesting several things. First of all,
writer.
Yes, a writer. Whenever he talks, the writer said, "But give me a second. I have it here. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Whenever Scott speaks, he wants a full page blow up like this. Okay, it needs to be blown up exactly like this.
You sure it was Scott that sent that to you?
Yeah, it's Scott. It's Scott.
Okay.
I'm just joking. It's not, but it would have been cool.
I know. I was just playing. I knew he wouldn't make those crazy that kind of crazy to me.
That would have been funny though. Like I demanded he blown up.
Green M&Ms in the green room. Only.
My square needs to be 10% larger than everyone else's. Yeah. In fact, I like to change the name of the show to Scott Rosema and IndieVolt. It's like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah. Hello, Dave. Sure.
Oh man. Let's see here. Yeah. So yeah. I just messaged Bill to see Bill from Kinetic to see if I can get him on Tuesday. So we're gonna try to get Bill on here and a couple other people. We should have a pretty packed show for everybody Tuesday. So get here early, stay late.
Yeah, stick around.
We'll get into some trouble. It's gonna be a good show though. I've got some people that I know that are coming, people that I'm still adding. It's gonna be a good show. Hopefully everybody
just make it a good round table and start going. Yep. Yeah. I can't wait to start my list keeps growing, my bucket list. I just gotta I want to get that done. Oh, I want to do that too. Oh, I gotta do this first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, suddenly there's a shirt order that has to get done. Anyway.
Yeah.
I gotta start clearing some decks next year, I think, and start really concentrating on comics. I mean the fun comics, not the commercial art comics. Not to say that the commercial art comics aren't fun sometimes, but I don't own them.
Yeah. Well, you don't own those commercial art books, and that's something else too. Because I was talking to a couple.
Should I can do a how-to book.
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Everyone's on the how-to.
That's on the list. Yeah.
How to utterly fail at comics. That's the one I'm writing.
Yeah, there you go. That's what some of them should do.
Yeah. Listen
some
to
of
me,
them.
kids.
Here's my book on how to do comics. Well, what have you done? Well, I've done 3 books. Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, Randy. And I'll show everybody here real quick. Oh, that wasn't nice. I typed in my name on YouTube and came up with death.
Came up with death?
Yeah. Marion Grant death. Like, really? Again? Last time I did it to stay away from the feds. Now
we're not supposed to talk about our porn career or our witness protection programs. It's not good.
Everyone can see this here. One of the first panels I ever did was it Space.
Don't be like me.
That's what it was called. Don't be like me.
That would be a good that would be a good name for a podcast.
Don't be like me.
That would be a good theme for the week. Line up a couple of people that have learned from their mistakes and how come we shouldn't be like you? What'd you do?
Yeah. And believe it or not, I had a pretty nice turnout. And you can see there's to the left of me. I was supposed to the panel was mine. But when I got there, I got stage fright a little bit, like the day before. Mm-hmm. So to my left there with the hat on, that's Chad Gibson from Sinister Undertone. Right there in Flint, where you are.
Okay.
He happened to be coming out. I forced him to come to Space. I forced him that year to come.
Did you?
Yeah, and he came.
Did he have a good time?
I think he did, but he had to leave early. He had to leave like midday Sunday because he had to go back to Michigan.
Yeah.
But to my right there, just bogarting her way into the action is Katrina. And
okay.
She bogarted her way into my panel.
I didn't recognize her there.
And she took over. And no, she didn't take it, but it was a really cool panel. But the name of my panel is "Don't Be Like Me," and that's what my book would be called. Yeah. For the love of God.
That's isn't that kind of an '80s term, bogarting?
I guess is it a faux pas now? Or is it are Bogardians getting mad?
One of my favorite English comics is the Bogeyman. about a guy who escapes from an insane asylum who looks exactly like Humphrey Bogart and believes he's living in Bogart films,
Isn't
even
it?
though he's running around in modern society. It's pretty fun. That
What,
needs to be collected. That's an awesome strip.
where in the heck is like, where did that term come from? Did Bogart just have a way of pushing away in the films?
No, not really. I'm not quite sure where the origin of the slang term came from, but
I have to look it up. I have to look that up. Trico,
probably it might tie back into one of his movies.
Trico says, "Will there be a Friday breakfast buzz since next Thursday is Turkey Day?" Possibly.
Should we do a Thanksgiving buzz?
Maybe we will. Maybe we'll do a thing. Everyone will be at
You know,
home.
we should think about doing that. Anybody who's hooked up that can be on the air in Thanksgiving, maybe we should talk about the 2 or 3 books we're most thankful for.
Yeah.
Talk about some indie comics that we like.
Yeah, I was on the Thanksgiving show last week, but it won't air
We
to
can come up with a special opening with a turkey running around.
Yeah. And we'll how about this? We'll draw the the Thanksgiving picture, the famous one with the
Does a moon calf count?
Well, the father's cutting the turkey. We'll do that, and we'll do it with all indie characters or indie creators.
Could be.
Who's cutting the turkey?
What kind of turkey?
Who's cutting the turkey?
Who's cutting the turkey? I don't know. Bandito. That's it. No, just kidding.
Triangle says Bogart is offensive to the people that identify as Humphrey Bogart.
Probably, but how many people identify as Humphrey Bogart?
Probably tons. You know, there's some nut out there. Yeah.
I'll go on Thanksgiving if you have a show that day. There we go.
Yeah. And Ted says he's available as well. So yeah, we.
No, not a. They'll just label it a turkey fest.
Yeah. This is turkey sauce.
You know, all of us. That's what you should do. Thursday breakfast buzz turkey fest. Get all of us turkeys on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's another old slang term.
I was gonna say turkey sausage fest, but yeah.
It's not the same thing. Besides, turkey sausage is pretty bland. So you don't want to be compared to turkey sausage.
So that's turkey bacon. It's a trick.
Turkey bacon. Bacon, as long as it tastes like bacon, it's all good.
That's it. Oh, there we go.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with.
Oh my goodness! You know that link will never get old. That clip will never get old. Ever.
Back when cable first started up, there used to be a movie channel called Spotlight, and over Thanksgiving weekend they always had their Turkey Fest, where they showed the absolute worst movies that they could find. That's where I saw Attack of Killer Tomatoes and a bunch of just really bad movies. But it was always fun just to sit there and veg for the entire weekend and watch the most disgusting, horrible movies you've ever seen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So yeah,
Randy,
Thanksgiving Turkey Fest.
One of the last questions I have from the Ask Me Anything, which I guess I didn't see, but do you have any advice for indie creators coming in 2020?
Know what you're doing as much as possible before you do it. That's that goes back to what we keep saying, to get an education, do your research, get to know what's out there, what's on the market, what's not on the market, try to fill a niche that's not currently being filled, start looking at different avenues of getting your work out there in front of people, get to know how the market is, what the market's looking for, what the market's not looking for, what the market has way too much of, which there's a lot of that out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the big thing. You can't know this market enough, and this market is constantly changing. So,
Yeah.
you know, don't be afraid that it is a very open market right now. There's a lot of awesome products that are coming out in a lot of really crazy places. You just have to find them and look around for them. And I think, again, the next couple of years, you're going to see a big swing unless there's a big shift, because Feige's on board watching Marvel Publishing, and that could shift Marvel really, not very fast, but fast enough, so that 2020 marks a year of change for Marvel.
All right.
And the numbers, despite the quality level from the mainstream companies, the numbers are going up. in the retailers, according to Comicron. The actual sales numbers are going slightly. They're going up slightly, but it's like, when you're at the bottom of the barrel, there's no place left to go but up.
Yeah.
So it's the market's always interesting. Look at crowdfunding. Look at some of those products.
Mhm.
I think, and personally, that a lot of the quality right now is in those crowdfunding books.
I would tell
There's some incredible products out there.
I would tell anybody looking to get in to also remember that you can't please everybody.
No, you're not gonna, and you should. Yeah, you're in an artistic medium too, and your love for that what you're doing is gonna genuinely shine through on the product that you're working on. So don't do something because you think you have to. Do it because you love doing it, and do it because you want people to see it.
And remember, like, you're not gonna please everybody. I've had stories where I had a story where a guy told me, "Don't do this story. It's horrible. That's so dark and so twisted." And I was like, "Oh, maybe it's right." I let that doubt creep in,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like that would never happen. You'd have to be especially, and
All that criticism you have to take with a grain of salt, because I've
for,
seen so many people chased off of this industry that should be there, that
if
because of somebody they respected called their stuff crap.
for years
I'm out of the market.
I didn't do it, and then about a year ago, I found out the very origin of this character was happening around the block from me. So and it was very dark and it's very sad.
Mm-hmm.
But the origin story that I had devised for this character was actually happening to a woman.
Is it?
And,
Okay. Go ahead.
and I was like, what the hell? I'm here. I am being told that I was a horrible person for even thinking of such a thing.
Oh, you're dark.
Yeah. But it was happening, unfortunately. And also, stop tweeting.
Stop tweeting.
Yeah, stop tweeting.
Well, you gotta control your social media,
Mhm.
and remember that that's your voice going out there, no matter what platform you're on. But I just posted. Somebody was complaining that they were in a Twitter war earlier today on Facebook, and the comment that I wrote that the comment I wrote on Facebook is Twitter's a hate group.
Mhm.
And tweets are basically hate speech.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It's the way you got to look at it.
I'm gonna pay some bills here.
Pay some bills.
But try to get some bills paid. Guys, as most of you already know, most of you know we have IndieVolt TV and IndieVolt Radio. And this is IndieVolt Radio TV, an ad for it right here. I put on the screen. You listen to IndieVolt Radio, you can't see it, but I can talk about it because IndieVolt TV is a over-the-top streaming service available on Roku and coming very soon to Amazon Fire Stick and more. You can stream independent movies, music videos, wrestling, original documentaries, and more on IndieVolt TV. And did I mention it's free? That's right, absolutely free. You can find IndieVolt TV by searching the channel store on your Roku device or Roku-enabled television. It's free. You can't go wrong with free, right? And most of you are going to get Roku's for Christmas. So, go ahead and
Trico advises if you're going to write for Marvel nowadays, know how to write an eating pizza scene.
That's very important. That's very important. You gotta have that.
Anyway.
You gotta have that set up.
Sorry to interrupt your flow there.
Oh, no problem. No, you gotta have that eating, and you gotta have a large palate. You gotta know what stuff tastes like. You gotta kind of be a foodie. So get an education in being a foodie.
Yeah.
Now you can take IndieVolt with you wherever you go. Introducing IndieVolt Radio, the perfect companion to our official website, IndieVolt.com. IndieVolt Radio plays the best in indie music, entertainment, news, and more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can hear music from talent like Chemical, Park Squares and Alleys, and Dims One. Download the IndieVolt Radio app on Android's Google Play Store or listen in with the streamer app on iOS. You can also check out IndieVolt Radio by visiting our official site, IndieVolt.com, and utilizing the built-in player on the front page. And we're not playing Christmas music. We're not playing Christmas music at all.
No Christmas music.
No.
No holiday deals.
No.
I saw that on an ad the other day. Oh, they coined a new term for Christmas merchandising. Holiday deals. Wonderful. Yeah, that's what I said. exactly what I said.
And then, of course, everyone, please, if you're watching on YouTube, if you come across this video, if you're watching on Facebook, hop over to YouTube for us, look up IndieVolt and smash that like button. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up.
How'd that end up in the corner?
Subscribe to us. Oh, I hit that one.
You put baby in the corner.
Hit that subscribe button,
There
please.
we go. That's better.
We really appreciate the subscriptions, and we like there's our roses. we need those subscriptions so very desperately now to keep the channel relevant, because YouTube changes the algorithm so much that now making sure that you have a nice subscriber base is paramount.
Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications.
Make sure you're still subscribed too,
because you never know when we're going to cut in. So,
and something else I just learned, and we'll talk about this a little bit more next week. Actually, YouTube will unsubscribe you. If you don't watch the video,
yeah,
YouTube will unsubscribe you from content. So, make sure you're still subscribed. We'll see everybody back here Tuesday, unless we decide to cut back in earlier.
Tuesday, yeah, unless we pop in earlier.
Yep. Tuesday at 9.
Yep.
You guys have a great weekend. Read some good comics. We'll see you real soon.
If you get a chance, check out that Zim Geek channel there too.
Yeah.
There's more content coming, I swear.
All right, man.
It'll be there eventually.
All right, we'll see everybody next week.
Take care, guys. We'll see you.